Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Micah Hunt channel on YouTube. And thank you for those that have subscribed and have commented and liked my posts thus far. Please keep sharing and staying involved with this because I really appreciate it. And the more of you that join in, the more that people hear about it and see about it, and hopefully can inspire and encourage others. So again, this is a channel to talk about senior living, healthcare, all things in the industry and life and perspectives, encouragement, inspiration, and just really open discussions and vulnerable discussions as well. So today, just briefly, I want to talk about networking. I know I was going to discuss this on Monday. A lot of life things happen, and we'll discuss that on another video. But today, I really want to touch on networking and what groups to participate in. This has been a subject with many people have reached out to me via LinkedIn or private message or emails and just asked, like, how do I choose the right group to participate in? Many of you know I participate in a lot of groups. I'm passionate about this industry that I've chosen to stay in. And I've worked with many different organizations in the past and in leading up to where I am now. So the one thing that I want to, a few things that I'd like to leave with you, again, this is raw, this is unfiltered, unedited. So this is just me being me, and I will have tongue twisters, slip up the words and so forth. So just, again, this is raw, this is unfiltered, and this is open. So some of the things that I look at in regards to what networking group and want to participate in is based on how is it going to grow me and how is it going to grow my company, agency, community. With everything going virtual, there are so many more groups now because they realize that it's a really good benefit that you don't have to leave, you don't have to pay for food or space or travel or anything. You can just stay in your home or wherever you are and just get on, log in, and join the group. What I recommend, if you've never heard of this group before, let's start there. If you've been invited to go to a meeting or a networking group or a Zoom, virtual networking group, if you've never heard of it before and you have no idea who's attending, if you have the time, join once. Join at least once to see who's there, how is this group meeting, what are the missions, what are some of the synergies that might benefit you and them and your organization. Typically you'll know firsthand if it's going to be something you really want to do on a regular basis, and also how much does it cost. What are the fees, monthly, yearly, twice a month, whatever it is. Find those details out so you can see if you're going to be a benefit to this, if you're going to see a benefit, and if you're going to be able to give beneficially to the organization or the networking group. So there's a lot of groups out there, like I said, and it's really sometimes tough to pick which one over the other, but also see what kind of time constraints they have. I'm going to use this as an example, not a bad example, because I know many of my professionals go to these, but BNIs, I haven't been able to really benefit from it. I've gone to probably 3 or 4 different meetings, ranging from a very large one to very small ones, and I've been a substitute, which I don't mind that. I don't mind being a substitute to go to meet some new faces and to learn some things. I just myself have not seen the benefit, and the time commitment is very strenuous for me. I know that's odd, but for me it is. So it's about what works for you. What are you trying to get out? If you're only going to join one group, and maybe the BNI is going to work for you, but maybe it's not for you, and maybe you want to try something else. A lot of groups that I participate in meet monthly. So it's once a month. So for me, I join a task force on aging. So I'm the chair and the president for that, which, as long as you have a good team, which I have an amazing team, all the task forces have an amazing team. And so for me, I have a really dedicated team that can help me with some of the things that are going on. So we all have each other's backs, for instance. So I have that group because it's in Virginia Beach. It's an area that we're trying to grow. And it's an opportunity for me to really feel empowered to be with these amazing people and to learn some new people, meet some new people, and have good connections with them. And so, those are some of the things that I look at and the things that I try to do. And it's a 2-year term. Hopefully, we'll begin looking, and I'm hoping it's only 2 years because I don't know if I can stay on for another 4, but some people are awesome and they stayed on for 6 terms, which is a lot. But I'm hoping that we can get some other quality people that can, fulfill the roles of those of us that have really made some changes and some impacts in our organization. So it's a 2-year term, so we're hoping that next year we'll have some new members to join in and take over the reins. And so then, as far as organizations that look for board members, I served, my first board opportunity was for the Alzheimer's Association many years ago. I say many, but for some of you, it's, decades ago. But for me, it's been probably, 6 or 7, maybe even 8 years ago. When I first started in healthcare, I was offered an opportunity to be a board member for the Alzheimer's Association because I'm so passionate about it. Sorry, I'm not wearing a purple suit or anything, but, you know, um, so that was my first experience in a board role. And I learned a lot, and I learned a great deal, and I appreciate the Alzheimer's Association giving me a chance to learn about that. And I did a 2-year term, and so then I took a much time off in between before I joined another board because I wanted to figure out what would I want to do, where would I want to put my foot in, and so after having a vision, and you all have to have a vision board, we all have to have a mission or a goal that we want to achieve. And so one of mine big goals is to be part of a statewide board opportunity, and then also look at national board opportunities. And so some of the things that I look at is, how can I get there? What are some things that I need to have for as a benefit to me to be able to show that I have these experiences to be part of that board? So one of the boards that I serve as now is that I'm a vice chair for a nonprofit in Williamsburg that helps seniors stay in their home, Williamsburg Faith in Action. And so I know I'm doing a lot of name calling and name dropping, sorry, but these are just examples of what I do. So, it's on my LinkedIn. If you follow me on LinkedIn, you see everything all that I've done. So that is a step to the next level, because now I have some credibility. That's the word I was looking for, credibility, in regards to the board nonprofit. So now that I'm in this role, I'm very passionate about this organization. I love what they do, and I'm here to support them. But the end in mind is that once my term comes near to an end, or becomes available, that's opening up an opportunity for the next step that I'd like to take. Because we all strive to move to that next level. How do we move up? How do we progress and not just stay stagnant in, okay, I'm here, I don't know what else to do? But we also need to remember that we're also mentoring. We're being mentored. These organizations that I'm a part of, I'm being mentored so much in regaining and gaining some information. But now I can also have the opportunity to mentor others, to say, hey, the time will come that I might have to pass on the baton. And so I'm helping them understand, like, how this organization works, how we do things. Please, excuse me, let me hear your insights and how you work through things. And I think that helps us build the reputation, and also builds ourselves up and our company and agency that we work for. So those are things that I look at. A lot of you know that I became an ambassador for Bridge the Gap Senior Living podcast. And again, another stepping stone for something bigger that I am focusing on achieving for myself and for my company, for the company at Garrett Realty Partners, a senior living support division. And so these are things that I really am trying to achieve. So with these organizations, they're benefiting me, benefiting them, but also it's allowing me to reach the goal that I really ultimately want to achieve. And that's to get a national presence and be able to be a part of a bigger network that I've always wanted to achieve, but we just never knew how to tap into it. And so you have to see every negative with a positive outcome. COVID has been crappy. Has sucked. There's been so much, death, so much job loss, so much uncertainty, which I've talked on before. But we have to look at the positive aspects. If it hadn't been for COVID, for me, I never would have done the virtual presentation Fridays, never would have done a conference, never would have done it, never would have gotten Kim Campbell, never would have asked Kim Campbell to do anything. But these are all opportunities that have progressed to allow me to do that. And it's because of these groups that I participated in. Here I am sporting Do You Care with Charles Turner, the owner of this and the founder of this, and or co-founder. And so these are things that I've accomplished and wanting to do because I know that there's a bigger outcome. Again, I'm helping them in a very small way. I'm a little person helping them in their mission and their goals, but it's also benefiting me to learn and to gain some experience and some knowledge from these amazing people that have done so much more than what I have, but I'm gaining some insights from them and being mentored. They may not think they're being mentors, but I look at them as mentors and for inspiration. And so, there are bigger things that I'm working on that I'd love to accomplish because I know these people and I've been able to build reputation, rapport, integrity, trust. These are all things that we all strive to do, but we never know how to do it. And again, look at the time constraints. You know, all these organizations that, not all, but the organizations that I participate in, there's not a lot of extra time and effort. It's just how do we do things in the midst of everything else that we're doing? And it can be accomplished. It can be. It depends on what your goals are to achieve to get to the next level, to your next level, your next goal that you want to achieve. So I'm going to leave it with that. We'll talk more about this in the future and in videos to come, because this is a very, you know, there's a lot to to unpack in this discussion, because networking groups, organizations, nonprofits, board members, vice chairs, presidents, and everything else, it's a big can of worms. Let me just say that, and it's not easy to do in a 10-minute less time frame. So this is the step. Find out what their time constraints are, their pricing. Does it match your values of what you want out of it? And is it helping you reach your goals for the next step, the next level that you want? So again, this is the Micah Hunt channel on YouTube. Please share with others, subscribe, like, comment. I always love hearing the feedback, and I hope that you're being inspired and that these are very informational and helpful to you for your next steps. So stay tuned for more. And again, stay safe, sane, healthy, and connected. Until next time, have a good one, and I'll see you soon. Unfiltered.